And welcome to the home of the Chiefs podcast, where the Chiefs are our homes. I am Clinton Petrie, as always, but I am not joined with my normal co-host today. I have my first of hopefully very many special guests I will be having on this show. This is my niece, Madyson Halsey.
Hello, everybody.
How are you doing today?
As good as I can be.
That's right. Hey, when you're in the Chiefs kingdom, everything's good.
Always.
That's right.
Especially when we keep winning.
That's right. As long as we win.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes we lose, but...
Yeah, you just have to brush those off. Like a lightning strike. Sure, they happen. I don't have to see it all the time to believe it. I know it exists. Doesn't mean it's going to happen all the time.
Oh, no. Especially with us.
Did your fandom with Chiefs pretty much start with Mahomes coming in?
Not really. My love for the Chiefs started since I was a kid, but I started taking it more seriously when Mahomes came because I realized how good they actually were.
Right.
First, I fell in love with Tyreek Hill, but since he's left, my love has stayed the same, and it probably will never leave.
It's good. I mean, that's what we as Chiefs Kingdom end up doing a lot is I made this point in another episode. It doesn't matter if you're not with our team anymore. We will still support you. We're not rooting for your demise or anything. So
right.
Tyreek Hill, cool. He got paid. He got his thing. He's not here. So love him from afar.
He was with us at one point. That's all that matters.
He got a ring out of it.
Yeah.
He didn't get the second ring, though.
No, of course not. Kelsey did.
Kelsey and Mahomes are going to be the mainstays. I mean, at this point right now, Travis Kelsey is the only member of like a team prior to 2016 to still be on the Chiefs. So he was Andy Reid's third total draft pick with the Chiefs in his draft. So there's that history, and it's nice when you find people like that and they're loyal here and they don't ask for a lot. Like the Mahomes, everyone's talking like, oh, he wants to make all this money and stuff, and he doesn't. His family makes plenty of money. He makes plenty of money just by seeing his face on commercials.
Yeah, all the ketchup commercials.
All the ketchup commercials.
Oh, yeah. I think he just loves football in general, and you can tell by the way he plays and the way he acts.
Yeah, I think the Chiefs always, like, they facilitate that. They like people who just, I love football through and through, and I'm unapologetically who I am.
That's what we need.
Andy Reid wants you to be yourself. He wants you to study and all that, but he doesn't want you to change who you are or your personality just to fit a box.
That's good.
So 2018, 2019, you said Mahomes comes in. So what was your initial impressions? So if you're watching younger, you're just seeing stuff from the couch, everybody else kind of reacting. It's normally how it goes.
Yeah.
But then what made you decide I need to, or what was the like moment that you decided I don't want to miss a game in any fashion?
I believe it was, I don't remember what game. It was the first game of the season. Tyreek Hill, first kickoff, returned it for a touchdown. And, I had my Chiefs jersey on. I was just happened to be watching it. It was the first game, not taking it that serious. When I saw that, it was a huge eye-opener. Like, football, wow, it's, as exciting as people make it seem. So from then on, every game I was there, fell in love with football, the Chiefs. And then it made me realize that, my family's not just crazy about the Chiefs for no reason. It's in our blood, and it's something that we've developed.
Yeah. It takes that exposure, but then it takes that like excitement to ignite the like, oh yeah, I see why that fandom exists, and now I don't think that's ridiculous now.
Oh no, definitely not ridiculous.
So I think I know what the first Mahomes regular season game where that first slant pass to Tyreek Hill and he zoops by everybody.
Yeah.
And he had like 10 touchdowns in the first 3 games or whatever, like just massive breaking, completely out of nowhere. Nobody saw it coming. I got my Mahomes jersey like 2 months in the mail before any of that went down, and I remember being excited, like, oh my gosh, we traded Alex Smith away. I have no idea what's going to happen, but Patrick Mahomes is my quarterback for whatever happens, and my God, thank goodness for Patrick Mahomes being in our lives.
I remember when he got drafted, I was clueless. I wasn't into football at the time. I was like, who is this? I know he's a quarterback. I know what quarterbacks do, but is he any good? He used to be a baseball player, so he has to be able to throw somehow, you know?
He was just at Kaufman last night as I'm recording this for Big Slick. You got to go see some of his clips online.
Wow.
He's like doing backwards softball throws and running an inside the park home run and stuff like that. So Mahomes just loves to be athletic for wherever it is, however he can showcase his athleticism. So he just got into it slowly, 2019. Because basically from that point till when you went to, was that your first game?
My first game was against the Ravens. It was freezing cold outside.
So was that 2018? Was that the Tyreek Hill comes back for it catch?
Yes. I don't think my first eye-opener was against... The eye-opener was, wow, I'm into football.
Mm-hmm.
Then, you know, my family realized it and was like, we got to get her to a game.
Right.
And that's when we went to see the Ravens.
Who all went?
It was me, my dad, my Uncle Kevin, Uncle Jake. I think we saw you guys there, possibly.
No, because we didn't get into it until that 2019 regular season. So
just my dad's.
Yeah, so the game after we lost to Tom Brady when he was still in New England, that's when we got into it. So you beat us into the stadium, but I had been there a couple times.
Right.
Mom had brought me and got us the amazing tickets, and I know that she just got you guys tickets 2 years ago that didn't include me and standing next to you. So
that was, I think, the only game that I've been to that you guys were not there. That was my first ever Chiefs game. It was a real football game, I'll say that. It was cold. You could feel everything. We had all the hot hands and everything.
That's right. But now, because Shannon and I had a point about this at this point last week's episode, where, you know, we left that snow game guy. Like, I'm a snow game guy. When it was just pouring down snow and we were playing the Broncos.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So right after that, it was, I'm not getting in the car unless I've got all these layers, all these things. I don't care about being cold or upset or being uncomfortable. I love my damn Chiefs, so I'm staying there and sticking through.
Oh, yeah. We didn't leave early. I guarantee you that.
But that's more resonated in you now since you went there a few times. You're like, I'm preparing and want to stay the whole time. So.
Oh, yeah. Definitely way more prepared now for my Chiefs games than I've ever been. The overall is everything.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever that time comes, I'm ready.
Right? Yeah.
Bags are packed.
we got a pair of snow pants in a closet waiting for the perfect time to bring them out. Hoping we never have to bring them out.
But they're there if you need them.
Exactly.
You never know.
Nothing will deter me from driving to Arrowhead Stadium and sitting inside.
Yeah, exactly.
And I can tell you're getting to be on that level too.
Oh yeah. I didn't realize I'd be this deep into the kingdom. Mm-hmm. But now that I'm in it, there's no turning around.
Yep.
I'm stuck.
And you wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
Oh no. Even if we weren't good, I still wouldn't be anywhere else.
Exactly. The Midwest is loyal. So we were loyal to the Chiefs when they only won 2 games before Andy Reid, and will still love the Chiefs however many years after Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes have long aged out. So not saying I want that to happen, saying long decades from now.
Yeah. In some years.
Right. Yeah. But we're ready for that. And even a down year or something, we're not going to be like, we didn't win the Super Bowl, so it's a failure.
Right.
Because like you can't expect the peak every single time. The great thing is that we have somebody who makes that happen, because we've seen our team pretty much throughout its history, between Len Dawson to Patrick Mahomes, being okay, but never having the guy who's better than all guys.
Yeah, now we do.
So we get to puff our chests a little bit because we waited a long time for this.
Yeah. We deserve it. That's what I believe. We actually do deserve to win. And to those who don't want us to win, oh well.
So how would you go about figuring out if you think someone is a diehard or someone who's like, I only started liking the Chiefs because of Patrick Mahomes? Not like you, where you're in your childhood and you're still like actively wearing gear or cheering or whatnot, but just like, I don't care about football, or I care about another team, and now Patrick Mahomes gets inserted, and now I'm Chiefs through and through. Do you see that happen often?
Yes, very often, especially after we won that first Super Bowl, and now since the second. You can definitely tell. Usually I say go to a football game, and if it's cold, will you stay there the whole time? If you're, love the Chiefs, you'll just deal with it. Frostbite or not, you'll deal with it. And those who just like the Chiefs because of Patrick Mahomes, I don't call them real Chiefs fans, but that's just me.
Yeah, I get that. And it's weird to be on the receiving end of that type now, because like, to be a Chiefs fan, you had to be a diehard and go through some pain and suffering with that fandom. So it wasn't like we dropped everything 10 years ago to be Patriots fans, or 15 years ago to be Steelers fans, or something like that. You stick through it, and the Midwest is really good about that.
Yeah, we have a very strong team support.
Yes. So. The whole community throughout all the Midwest region, frankly, are really supportive and diehards through and through.
There's a few scattered fans throughout, but usually they have a good reason for being fans of their teams.
Right. Yeah, it was more, I used to be from Kansas City, and now I got displaced somewhere else because my wife's family is from here. So, yeah.
Or my dad liked this team, so I like them too. There's a lot of that, mostly with Cowboys fans, I feel like, when they used to be good. But it's okay to change, but Chiefs Kingdom doesn't change.
Yeah, when I was younger, I'd mostly see like division rival. So Broncos fans, Raiders fans are one of the few. I mean, some personally.
Yeah.
And then like Charger fans, you're like, apparently they exist. They're like Bigfoot. They'll come out of the wilderness at some points to announce their arrival, but as soon as you go looking for them, they're gone. You don't see them around anymore. But like, there's been times where we've gone to a game and like the Packers are playing, or the Colts are playing, or the Vikings are playing, or the Bears are playing, or something like that, and you'll still get those type of fans to show up and cheer for them. So the Midwest kind of has that feeling to it.
Yeah.
You're still close enough to your home team, but still here is nice enough that, you don't look like a fool for claiming it.
Right.
It's like, we won't hate y'all for liking somebody else. We'll respect you and love you all the same.
Yeah, that's what I really enjoy about Arrowhead, is I've never seen anything disrespectful towards another team. It's fine if you cheer for another team. If you get beat, don't be a sore loser. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I've heard some opposing fans chirp a little bit, or I don't want to name drop, Packers or Bills or Bengals by any stretch. I'm not, calling them out by name or nothing. But they get passionate ones, and we're all about passion, but when you use your passion with rage and anger or hatred, that's when no go. Like, you can be passionate, you can be loving, loyal, you can be supportive, but we're not gonna hold on to something for too long because of it.
Like the game that we lost to the Bengals. I personally, the group I was with, you, my dad, there was no disrespect towards the other team. There was a few other people, other Chiefs fans, but you can understand it wasn't too, rude and disrespectful. But then when we won, I didn't take it out on the other team. I was just excited we won, honestly. I didn't take the hatred out on Bengals fans or Joe Burrow. It was like, we won. It is what it is.
I mean, and you heard, the only time I was screaming my head off out of the parking lot was Burrowhead my ass, Burrowhead my butt.
Right.
So we will hold in things like that, and we can't wait for you to have it blow up in your face. And that's why we preach, don't be like that. Don't claim to be the best. Don't claim somebody else is terrible. Don't claim you're good if you own something that you don't own. You be respectful, because when you get punched in the mouth, it's gonna hurt a lot more, and you're gonna be even more shamed and embarrassed afterwards.
That was shown whenever we won. It comes back. That's all I can say. Karma comes back.
It does, and it happened for us / the Bengals the year before. Who knows? I'm not going to say what the NFL script writers have put together for us this season. I just love that.
Script writers?
Yep. Everything in the NFL is rigged.
I've read all the Twitter comments. The refs, the script writers. I called it at the Bengals game when we won that that they were going to post on Twitter something about, it was the refs. The refs helped us win. It's always the refs helped us win.
Yep.
Every time we win.
I can't be 2 pointing fingers about that. I mean, there was the Raiders game last year, where all of Arrowhead made that ref pee his pants a little bit. He was maybe reconsidering his choices about where his opinions lie. So we can be rowdy, but we're not vengeful, I guess.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
We might have shook our fist at this ref, but nobody.
We didn't throw it.
Yeah, and nobody was just waiting out in the parking lot to beat his butt. I mean,
right.
Maybe there were some,
but it wasn't you guys, right?
No. If they had lost, I might have walked towards the mob, but I would have come to my senses and came back and
there
been
you go.
It ain't that deep.
Yeah, there you go.
Because I'm trying to learn that as fandom, because I'm fan, the actual fanatic term of die hard, everything that my team can do no wrong, everything they do is great type of stuff. And I recognize that, and then no, I can still like it. I still appreciate it and follow it, but I attach the certain parts to me. You don't worry about parts of the game you can't control. A year ago, I would have been just completely devastated after the AFC Championship game, or literally crying my eyes out when they lost the Super Bowl.
Yeah. But as as the years go by, you kind of get used to it. It is what it is. You can only control so much.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
It's part of being a Chiefs fan.
True. And nowadays, it doesn't feel like you're going to have to know what losing feels like. But, I mean, we have. And we're I didn't know we could lose with Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. It's no, you still have to be a good football team through and through. You still have to act like you don't have Patrick Mahomes on your team.
Right.
So then when you exploit him, then you know you're going to win. But you need to almost ignore that he's there so that you build the best overall team. And then, oh yeah, we have him. That's why we're good. But like,
right.
We've seen what happens when Mahomes goes out.
Yeah.
It just happened in the playoffs this year too. So he's tough, he's strong, and he will deal with pain and stuff. But we also have to be real that like we don't want our quarterback having these injuries every single season.
Right.
Because eventually it'll add up, and then the years that he plays, you assume will go down. And nobody in Chiefs Kingdom wants to think about that.
Of course not. Of course not. We love Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. And everybody else, of course. But
yeah. There's like a pecking order. Once you've been here the longest, like technically we like Chris Jones a little more than Patrick Mahomes because he's been more loyal.
That is true.
So Chiefs pay the man. He deserves it.
Yeah, he really does deserve it.
Hope you enjoyed this first segment. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be back shortly.
What up, KC? On the heels of yet another Kansas City Super Bowl victory, we have an awesome opportunity for you to broadcast your business to the local Kansas City market. We've created something called Kansas City Sports Company, which is a sports media hub for multiple live shows, all of which cover all the local Kansas City teams. Now, we have 30-second ad spots, 60-second ad spots, we have event sponsorships, studio sponsorships, show sponsorships, and much, much more. This is a great opportunity for you to start early with us and broadcast your business to a very dedicated, very enthusiastic Kansas City audience. Contact me or hit the Contact Us link on our website to learn more about this opportunity.
Welcome back to the Home of the Chiefs podcast, our second segment. I'm joined here with my lovely niece, Madyson Halsey, and we are continuing our conversation about her journey through Chiefs Kingdom and what that looks like to her. So you've watched games on TV. You've been to some one-off special games. You've been to like one-off games, championship games. So I guess you obviously know the next question is season ticket membership your logical step at some point?
Eventually, yes. It's definitely in the future. It's definitely in the works. I would love to go to every single game, but I feel like the championships are a lot more fun and entertaining and energetic. Mm-hmm. So I'll definitely push more towards going to the championship games and the more important games. Eventually, I hope to make it to a Super Bowl.
Right. Oh my gosh.
That'd be so much fun. Make it a trip. But we got to work up there first. We got to work our way up.
I remember being like in the car driving through like Topeka or whatever, saying like, man, if the Chiefs were ever in the Super Bowl, I want to go there and watch. And then they did it 2 years later and they outpaced me. So,
right.
And they're way outpacing me to afford stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
So I get that, like championship games, I'll say like those alone are like a third or a quarter of the entire season ticket purchasing stuff. So those championship games can get pricey. So if you treat yourself to those games,
you can't really make it to the other. But I'll make it. Working hard, going through school, I can do it. Side hustles or not, I'm going to those games.
That's right. And now you're officially a high school graduate. Now you have more free time and more choices. So,
oh yeah, have more. Don't have to take off work and school to go to the parade or anything like that. Mm-hmm. Now I can go whenever I feel. So having that freedom will definitely build up my relationship with Chiefs Kingdom some more.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any desires or intentions of living closer to Chiefs Kingdom?
Yes. In 2 years, eventually I'll move to Warrensburg, Missouri, which is between Columbia and Kansas City. Not directly in the middle, but kind of in the middle.
Somewhere, yeah. So that's closer to like an hour.
Yeah.
Drive.
Instead of 2. So I'll be a little bit closer. But, I'll be away from home, but Kansas City is only an hour. So I think I'll definitely be here more often and for more games and all the little activities that they have going on.
That's a good spot for you. It allows you to basically decide who you want to hang out with or something.
Exactly.
You got your family on one side, and then you got your Chiefs family or us or any fun things around here.
Right.
So it's not 15 minutes away from the stadium like me.
No.
So
I don't know if I could live in the city. Kansas City's there's a lot of people.
Correct.
A lot of traffic. Hate driving on highways. So I don't know if I could live here full time.
I get that. I've had some of those thoughts more recently. Like, what is the farthest distance out of Kansas City I can justify?
Right.
Because it's like, I feel like I can get more bang for my buck somewhere, but once you reach a certain line, you're not. It's basically like the same as Kansas City or I guess worse than what they have and how much it costs to live there.
Yeah, usually outside of Kansas City, it's cheaper. So, but then you also got to drive, however long to get to the stadium back home. So is it really worth it in the end?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was thinking about that for you, like all night games that get done at 10 p.m.
Yeah, might have to crash here.
Or we just experienced one of those last season for Christmas for a noon game.
Yeah.
So getting to the stadium prior to like 10 a.m.
You got to be there early.
Yes, you do. Arrowhead is very much known for cars backing up 12 hours before the game is even consideration.
Right.
And they will open that dang parking lot.
Oh, yeah. Everybody will be out there tailgating, playing cornhole and everything.
Whatever time they say the gates open, you should assume 20 minutes before that they actually had to cave and do it because it was starting to be a traffic violation.
Right. You can only hold the crowd back so long.
Yep. We are crazy like that. I mean, if I had that sort of freedom financially and like time in my day, yeah, that's all I care about. That's where I want to be.
Just sit in the car and wait for it just to get in the parking lot.
Yep. Well, let's just all put our money together and we'll get a several-seater RV camper. We'll deck it out. We'll make it all cheese stuff. We'll make the interior nice. We'll have couches and stuff like that to chill. So it's like, we just sit in Arrowhead parking lot like it's our land.
Wait in the parking lot line, not even the parking lot.
Yes. Be more equipped to be waiting in the line.
Oh yeah, instead of sitting in the car. The car's not bad though. I don't mind it.
True. I definitely have some envy to those who like have their whole setups prepared to come here.
Right.
Like I have sort of that envy of like, I don't have enough people here to tailgate, to justify tailgating. And I mean, Shannon and I can bring food in the car for the two of us.
Right.
It's not the same. We tried to be like social. We're not joining everybody's tailgate.
Right. Just walking up to a tailgate.
Yeah, if we get like awkwardly waved over, we'll do it. But
not just randomly wander up to a tailgate and say, hey guys.
Correct. We are not that like in Chiefs Kingdom to be that polite and that open and friendly to everybody. Right. We're just not quite on that level. Maybe enough time it'll bleed on to me where that's the case. But right now, I'm looking at you from afar like y'all are crazy.
Right. If you want to, invite me over there, you can. But for now, I'll stay over here.
Yeah, I see you're having fun over there. I'm just making sure you're not judging me or looking at me weird in my car. So
for sitting here, just waiting for the gates to open.
Yeah. Like, you're crazy. You're crazier than me. You didn't even bring like food or entertainment to wait around. You're just waiting.
Well, you got snacks.
Well, yeah, you got to bring some snacks. You can't go there empty stomach.
Oh, no.
Arrowhead's food is good. I wouldn't want to pay that money every single game for food. So, I definitely want to get enough people around to justify tailgating. Like, I'm trying to be in this Kansas City lifestyle. I want to get a giant smoker, so I can smoke a bunch of meats.
Right.
Fire pits outside. I'm ready for the Midwest complete transformation. I'm waiting for it.
The big coolers. And
yes.
That would be really fun. That would be really fun and exciting. Maybe a school bus. Just take all the seats out, put in, couches.
You make me have your truck envy.
Oh, yeah. We can do the truck. Just throw a grill back there.
Yep. Like, I've always seen that. I'm like, man, that looks ridiculous. But now I really want to do that.
Yeah. Now that you see it every day, it's like, that looks really enjoyable.
So I get that's a good talking point. So since you've been to games and you wait around for the games to start, is it harder to wait around when you're waiting for the game come on TV, or the process of getting to the stadium and waiting till tick, 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 and then all the pageantry starts?
I think that I get more adrenaline rush being in the line, waiting for the gates to open than I do, sitting at home. Sitting at home, it's like, yeah, the game's about to start, but there's nothing leading up to it. There's not you got to put all your layers on, go, get in the car and not, sweat pounds. But sitting at home, you're just, oh, great, the game's on. Turn on the TV,
Or if you're like us, you're like, I know the game's going to start in 2 hours. I've been awake for 5 hours waiting, just thinking about what the game's going to be like.
Right. At home, it's just, you're sitting around, you might cook some food for the game, but it's just you and Shannon or me and my dog. So, it's pretty boring, honestly.
And even watch parties, you still are like, I don't feel as much energy as I could.
No, the watch parties are fun, but I'd rather be there. Being there is the adrenaline rush, the excitement, everything. Nothing can beat it.
So you have the last 2 games to compare to. Were you more excited within the AFC Championship game or the duration of the Super Bowl?
Probably the AFC Championship game.
Because it didn't seem like a for sure.
Yeah. It was like, well, if we don't get past this, there's no Super Bowl. We have to get past this.
And they've already beaten us all these times before. So exactly. the narrative says we're going to lose to them. And until they show us different. And the Chiefs, they're not going to come out and say, oh, we're going to whoop the Bengals' butts right now.
No, we're not like that.
Yeah, they keep their mouth shut, so we're just left to be like, well, they could pull it off. And we'll give it a little bit of optimism, but you've taught me to calm
down. Stay positive.
Try not to be upset. Stay positive. Every bad thing that occurs it's totally it.
Yeah.
I'm from the older fan base that watched it years before Mahomes, saying like, you got to be perfect. If you're not perfect on every drive, the other team has a guy who they probably think is better and will do enough to win. So if we don't play perfect, we're just going to lose.
Right.
And that sucks.
I think that's also, since watching Mahomes, since I've been into football, that's what that's taught me is, yeah, you might be bad on one play, but the next play could be amazing. You never know. So don't ever completely shut your team out.
Yep. And don't ever discount a player or something.
Exactly.
Because you never know when they're going to make the big play. And it's going to be anybody. You have no idea. Somebody's just going to get thrust out there and they're going to perform to a high level and you'll be surprised, or they don't reach that level and you have to let it go. But you don't say that person sucks, let's get him out of there.
Exactly. Don't ever shut out a player, the whole team. Just be positive. I know it sounds cliche, but that's all you can do is, yeah, it might be bad now, but in 20 minutes we might be beating them,
True. And it's easier for me to actually believe when you say that, considering who we have and the team we are versus 10 years before that, where if I was saying that, I'd be like, where's your proof? Okay.
Right. Where's the evidence?
There
is no evidence.
I was promised good. Where is it?
Right. But now, with the people that we have, the game can turn completely around, in 3 minutes, anything like that.
So I want to ask you because you pretty much got nerdier about it when Mahomes comes in the picture. Having watched the Chiefs, do you have that like other games are boring feeling? Like they're not as exciting? The play where Mahomes is off his back foot and chucks it 70 yards. Why isn't that happening in this game?
Yes, but I feel like that's because I'm emotionally invested in the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
I have a deep love for them. Like the Steelers or the Broncos, I'll watch another football game that's not the Chiefs, but it's not like, let's go.
Right.
It's like oh, great, good job.
Well, do you think of it like, I guess the equivalent is like, do you watch like the Broncos play a game and you watch, it looks like your brother playing football versus Mahomes plays football and it looks like the best player?
I try not to look at it like that because the quarterback that we have is, I like to say, one in a million.
Yes, right.
There's nothing like him, so you can't really, compare him to Joe Burrow or, anybody like that. So they're their own category. Then there's Mahomes, The other quarterback's Mahomes.
Yep.
It's different.
Mahomes on one leg, still better.
Exactly.
Yeah, I feel you there. But I kind of have that impression, though. Like, I'll try to watch games that aren't the Chiefs, and I'm not 100% into it because not the fandom, but I also don't see it as like, oh my God, that just did something amazing. So there's times that does happen, but I have this impression that when you watch the Chiefs, it can pretty much happen every play.
Right.
Like it's going to happen, not like, oh, maybe this team will have this amazing play and this wide receiver is really fast and ran by people. The Chiefs are like, I'm going to see something amazing when I turn on my TV or I go and sit my butt in those seats and stare at this team. I'm going to see something amazing.
Yeah. Going into a game, I think like that. But during the game, it's like, we do have our bad times. Every play is not going to be amazing. It is what it is. True. And I think that's what makes me not completely angry when we lose.
Mm-hmm.
I have that balance between we're amazing, but sometimes we have the plays that are iffy.
Mm-hmm.
We may drop the ball sometimes, may get sacked sometimes. But in the end, we're still good.
Are those losses equal to you? Because, like, I've got an example for me personally, I guess. The year they lost the Bengals championship, we played in Tennessee and got our butt whooped 28-3. Like, offense did nothing. And then they lose the AFC championship game. Is either one of those worse, more painful? Are they pretty much the same in, like, thoughts afterwards?
I think the championship is more painful for me because we worked so hard to get there. A game during the season is difficult, but it's not, if we lose this game, there is no next.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I feel like as you go up in the pyramid of like getting to the Super Bowl, those games do become more painful, more nerve-wracking. You're more anxious when it's game time,
So if the season progressed and the Chiefs had a certain amount of losses they can hit, and they hit those losses and they lost 42-0, but then they are playing in the playoffs, you're not overthinking about, man, we just got our butts whooped in these other games?
Oh, I definitely am. But I'm not speaking those. I have...
It doesn't recur, and it's not leading you to decide how this game's going to go.
Right. Yeah, we just lost, but this is a new game. I go into every game, new game, maybe players have a new mindset. Maybe Andy Reid has a new mindset. Just because we lost 40-0 possibly doesn't mean we're going to lose 40-0 this game.
Right.
Every game is different. Every team we play is different. So you never know the outcome, except if you're a scriptwriter. You never know.
True. I think I'm that way of, we got embarrassed. Like, losing the last game of the season, that sucks and that's painful. And you have to live that on forever until the next season comes around to just take it out of thoughts to replace it. But when you just get your butt handed to you, that like physically hurts me, because it's like, this is not what I see from my team. So I know it can happen, but how in the world did we let this happen? Still,
right.
like I've seen the future, and I still can't believe that something contrary can pop up.
I think the games that hurt me the most are the games that I have friends or family that are, fans of the other team. Like the Eagles game or the Steelers game. Those hurt me way more than, I sad to say, but when we lost the championship. Yeah, it hurt, but I don't know a Bengals fan in my life.
Right.
So it was like, yeah, it sucks really bad, but nobody's going to come talk trash to me.
Right.
But when we lost to like any other team, and if I know somebody on the other team, it hurts because now I can't live that down.
Mm-hmm.
As a Chiefs fan, I am proudly a Chiefs fan. Me and my friends, they're not Chiefs fans. I'm the only Chiefs fan. So I carry my support on my back and I rub it in their face because they're my friends.
Yeah, you wear your merchandise on your chest. There's no hiding it.
Exactly. And when I'm driving around, I got a Chiefs sticker on my truck. Everybody knows.
It's not a debate where what we like.
Right. There's no, oh, they might be this. No, we're strictly Chiefs fans over here. And you can tell.
So you have more feelings of like, oh man, we just beat this team and my friend over here is a fan, so I gotta support them, versus like, man, my team just lost to any insert random team. You almost feel worse when the Chiefs beat up a team that some unfortunate soul who likes a team besides the Chiefs instead.
Like when we win, dude, my friends are never hearing the end of it. Like when we won the Super Bowl, I know an Eagles fan, they will never hear the end of it.
Should.
And then it's, dude, we just beat my, a friend of mine's team, but we won the Super Bowl. That together, top tier. Like that was the most excited I felt in my life.
Dang, trigger a bunch of Eagles fans. Juju was held. It was holding.
Right?
Yes. This is the comment. It was a late hit out of bounds. It was very obvious he had more than 1 foot out of bounds. He still got tackled. You're not supposed to do that. I don't know what Chris Jones said to Matt Ryan to get a penalty where we lose that stupid game this season, but he shouldn't have done that either. I don't know what the hell he said. He'll never say it.
He'll never say.
But whatever he said, now he knows he shouldn't say that.
Right. But yeah, I'm definitely, football brings people together.
Yes.
And I'm so glad that I moved to the good side and I chose a good team. Didn't have a choice, I say, but luckily my family's, fans of a good team. So I was drawn into it. And now I have, friendships outside that we connect by football.
Mm-hmm.
Football brings people together, even if they're fans of the other teams that aren't so good. It still brings people together. And I think that's why the NFL support system and their fans are so strong and good people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the NFL is a it is a good like interest center point, I guess. You could not talk to somebody for a while, but something about your team or their team comes up and they talk to you about it. Like, you don't have to speak to them all the time or have conversations about their life or what they're going through. It might just be these interactions.
Strictly football. And football brings people together.
Yes, the KC community is definitely good like that. And you have experience of rooting for a team that's not very good. I mean, the Royals this season. You would know, and I would know. I'm the one who has to speak about every game that goes on. So you're used to supporting a team even though they're bad. You look at them like they're children performing. That's great. I hope the performance goes well, but do I compare this piano recital to a symphony
Right.
concert. I probably shouldn't, but my brain loves to do that comparison.
Right. I'm used to watching. My favorite player was Alex Gordon,
Mm-hmm.
and after we won the World Series, I felt even more deeply in love with him. Now that he's retired, I'll be honest, I don't watch the Royals that much because they lose, and I hate losing. Watching them lose is just like, great, another one.
We were very fortunate that Kansas City got a championship before like the 2020s. So it wouldn't be like everything is riding on a World Series or for the Chiefs to finally be good.
Right.
It was this like, oh my God, we're getting good and it's surprising us. And we keep being overwhelmed by how good they are. And then they become the juggernaut they are.
Right.
So like that process was just fun to watch.
Very.
And to be a part of. And like you wonder if we didn't have that kind of success, would we continue to have this kind of success? I mean, getting the draft here in the city, getting FIFA here a few years from now as one of the main United States cities. So Kansas City is growing, and I think almost all of it on the back of its sports teams, and therefore people like us, the Chiefs Kingdom, and those who love and die hard it.
Very excited to see what other sports come here. I'm not a huge FIFA fan, but at least we'll have a team besides football. And
in case FIFA is like Olympic soccer, basically.
Yeah, soccer. That would be fun to have here, though.
Yes, like we have Sporting KC, and they've been not so good recently. But Kansas City shows out for like if you show yourself, if you're committed and you show improvement and you're getting good, Kansas City will latch on. Like, we will accept you.
Oh, yeah. We accept everybody.
Like, bring us an NBA team. Bring us an NHL team. We'll handle all of that.
Yeah, that'll be a lot to handle, though. All in one city? That's a lot.
What do you think someone like from New York deals with? You think they just pick a sport? They're like, I'm only baseball through and through. I'll never watch a Knicks game.
No, but... Their population is larger than ours. They have multiple NFL teams.
True.
Here, I feel like our population is not as big. Missouri is not very famous in general.
True.
When people think of Missouri, they think of farmland, farmers, but they don't think of Kansas City Chiefs or Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
If we get an NBA team, I will be blown away. I will.
I mean, Kansas City at one point in history was big enough to have teams like this. And I just think right now, you're only going to have more people moving here and not several leaving. And maybe you have some people now who moved across the country from here for a reason. And then they're seeing what's going on now and they want to be near it again.
We're very welcoming here in Kansas City.
Yes, we have a very good energy.
That's the good thing. It's very welcoming. If you want to be a Chiefs fan, great. Just don't just like us because we're good for now.
Correct. Like if you're gonna stick with us right now, then you better stick with us when whatever tragic, terrible event happens.
Exactly.
And I know you will be there when whatever tragic event happens or doesn't happen. And of course, I'll be there.
Oh yeah, we'll both be there.
So. I think we've gone quite a bit of time here. Is there anything you would like to end this podcast with? Let people know anything about you? What do you want? Anything you want to disclose? Or
thanks for having me. That's my main thing.
Oh, this was a pleasure. I love having conversations to people I love and care about the Chiefs. It brings me such joy, and like I'm so thankful that I found this platform to frankly give me something to do during times where I would just feel lost, or this is what I would want to be doing anyway. So now I've just took the step to actually do it, and
I'm glad that you did.
Experience whatever it is, the embarrassment or the praise that comes with it. I'll accept it all.
Oh yeah.
So thank you all for joining us on the Home of the Chiefs podcast. Presented by KC Sports Company. A great conversation. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. And go Chiefs.
Chiefs.